Muy buenas gente, bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio. Estamos de vuelta en The Witcher 2, continuando justamente donde dejamos, buscando al troll, buscando a la mujer del troll aquel que estábamos antes, pero sigo sin saber por dónde ir. ¿Por aquí? No. ¿O sí? No. Esto me vuelve a la ciudad, ¿no? Es una llave. Cuidado, a lo mejor sigues por ahí. Es una llave. ¿Qué llave necesito yo? Está como allá y no sé cómo llegar. Vale, esto sube por aquí. A lo mejor por aquí me lleva a algún lugar. Ah, no, aquí solo es donde está el troll. Claro. Ah, a lo mejor por aquí. Dios. ¿Dónde me he equivocado hasta la? ¿Dónde está la otra? ¡Qué cabrona! No me he equivocado. No sabía que iba a salir puesta. Espera. Voy a ponerme Igni. Vale, vamos allá. Hay limpieza que acabo de hacer. Ah, guardaespaldas. Lo quema, la espada esta. Que ya sabía yo que tenía efecto para quemar, pero... joder. Muy bestia. A ver, ¿cómo sea? A lo mejor sí que es por aquí. Por mejor. No, mira, se me equivocó la espada. Que yo sé que hacen cuando mueren. El grito este que sueltan. Pero... ah, guay. Guarda esto. Pues creo que estamos yendo bien. Sí, se ha sido puta madre. Es lo quema, tío, la espada. Me molan mucho las runas estas. Ahí están las runas. Oh. Está guay. Vale, va. Ya estamos cerca. ¿Otra vez? Una corona. Hostia, esto debe servir. Hay deditos que pegáis, coño. Ayón. Y no está, ¿no? Ahí está. Vale, guay. Vale, guay. Puedes seguir por aquí. O no, esto acaba aquí. Aquí por aquí. Vale, bien, está aquí. Oh, por fin lo hemos encontrado. Coño, ¿qué pasa aquí? Ascender. Ahí, por fin.
She's wounded. Let her bleed.
Better lunge at her all at once. She's weakened.
Not worth the risk.
What are you doing here?
We're mercenaries. Currently on King Henselt's pay. We were sent here on reconnaissance. Barely escaped with our lives from that mist of specters. Now we're up against a furious she-troll. Who are you?
Geralt of Rivia.
The White Wolf. We could use professional help, Witcher.
Will you help us?
No puede morir.
I can't let you kill her.
Since when does a monster slayer take their side?
None of your business. I need her, and you need to leave.
She killed 2 of my men.
Walk away, and nobody else will get hurt.
You won't help? Fine. Just don't disturb us. We'll manage ourselves.
The troll needs to live.
The troll will die.
Then you'll have to kill me, too.
In that case, adieu, Witcher.
Ah, no. Y se ha puesto pesadito, ¿eh? Yo lo pienso, a este juego le falta el sistema de combate de Witcher 3. Ah, hostia. Por culo contigo. Vamos, cabrón. No puedo dejar que muera.
Enough! We surrender! Throw down your arms, men! Spare us! Witcher! The king will pay our ransom.
I'm not looking for a ransom. Leave the troll alone and go your way.
You'll let us go?
You can't return through the mist. It's certain death.
They're soldiers of fortune. We're not afraid of death.
Neither do we foolishly seek it. The Witcher's right.
Commander, we were to find a Witcher.
A bald one with a snake medallion. This one's white-haired, with a wolf in his neck.
Rendidos ante Saskia. Estáis buscando a Lezo.
You're looking for Letho.
You know him?
You could say that. I'm looking for him too. What do you know about him?
Sheala de Tancarville told us to search the ravines for this Letho. All we found was a camp strewn with dead Scoia'tael. This Letho was responsible for the bloodbath, and he did not act alone.
Where was this?
On the other side of the Wraith's Mist.
What were you to do with him?
Kill him, and anyone with him.
Anyone? Are you sure?
That was the order.
Do you know where Letho is?
Somewhere on the other side of this mist. We found a trail, but then the mist descended. We got lost, and emerged from it here.
Rendidos ante Saskia.
I advise you to surrender to the rebels.
That would be new to me. I am Adam Pangrat, known as a dieu.
You won't survive for long out here.
They'll hang us. They know Henselt hired us.
Go to Cecil Burden. He'll treat you fairly. But don't count on him outbidding Henselt.
Hear that, boys? Let's meet the Dragon Slayer. The Witcher claims we'll be safe and sound. Gather the wounded. Stop buggering and move out.
El tonto.
Humi's troll, see? To kill Humi's itchy. Would kill trolls, sure. You, other. Good, you help. Troll, you help.
If you want to help me, go back to your old man.
No! Idjit Humi redhead grope.
He's alone now. He misses you.
Tell him, too late.
Vuelve con tu marido. ¿Estás pesada? Pero baja. Ahí. ¿Sabes algo de la pelirroja?
Know anything about the woman who was in your lair?
Troll, no. Humi ugly. Humi stinks.
Return to your husband if you want to repay me.
Troll don't want, but Troll will. For you other, you good.
Mrs. Back! Good! Troll-like!
Me back for Wisher asked. Stay away if Wisher not ask.
Mrs. Wise!
Idiot you. Hew me woman grope.
No more! Never again!
Give me the bandana.
Here, stupid old buck.
Troll give horn. In danger, Wisher blow, troll come.
Thanks. I'll remember that. Now go to your mate. Maybe pick her some flowers first.
Flowers? No! Flowers stench. Troll bring bird dung.
Tú haces eso.
Idiot! What troll doing there?
Vamos a ver.
Nisty.
Dar el pañuelo de Triss a Filipa. Vale, guay. Pues vamos a volver y vamos a dar el pañuelo a Filipa. Y con eso en principio debería encontrar el camino para... Voy a encontrar a Triss, básicamente. Esperemos que haga justamente eso. Vamos, Geralt. Es tu momento. Siguen acampados aquí. Defienden la entrada a la ciudad. Pues no paran de aparecer apariciones por aquí. Vale. Oye, la ciudad. Qué magistral. Vale. ¿Cómo que no lo tengo? 394 con 200 de 300 de peso. Alguna cosilla que quiera tirar. Botas altas temerias. Épico. Claramente me las pongo. No sé, ¿no? Mejora de cuero. Mejora de armadura. Nah. Me da rabia no llevar ningún trofeo. Tengo trofeos. Sí, me da rabia no llevar ningún trofeo, pero mira. Trofeo de arpilla, perfecto. ¿Lo llevo aquí encima o algo? Sí, mira, lo llevo ahí colgando detrás, ¿os fijáis? Estoy colgado en mi espalda. Mola, tío, mola. Tal vez tengo algo que vender. Objetos de misión, todo. Esto, diagramas, componentes de arte. Yo creo que mucho de esto podría venderlo, ¿eh? Ay. Montajeño al alcance. Alcance de la señal. Eso mola. A ver cómo voy de habilidades. Vale. No estoy casi nada de su nivel. Voy a esperar dónde voy. Que me desvío. Vamos por aquí. ¿Qué queda por aquí? Creo, ¿eh? Estoy muy seguro. Ahí arriba. Sí, perfecto. Al menos no hemos encontrado una situación tan rara como la
You wanted to discuss something?
Vale, sí. ¿Quién es Lezo? Vale.
Have you heard about a Witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No. Why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
Vale. Sheala de Tancarville está de parte de Henselt.
Your friend Sheala is conniving with Henselt.
I know this, Witcher, but it's no cause for concern. Sheala is there to ensure Henselt doesn't fall prey to the same people who killed Foltest. We don't want him as sovereign of the Pontar Valley, but we also don't need Kaedwen to descend into civil war.
Vale. Pues vamos a ver. Tengo la cinemática.
I've got Triss's bandana.
Have you learned anything?
Triss was here. Letho forced her to teleport.
Why would he? There are easier ways to travel.
2 of Letho's comrades, probably those responsible for Demoven's death, were hiding among the Scoia'tael. When it became evident in Flotsam that the Kingslayer wanted to dispose of Yorvith, the Scoia'tael leader gave the order to eliminate them. Letho had to reach the unit before the elven messengers did. He could only do that by teleporting.
I assumed that Triss wanted to teleport to me, but she missed the mark and they ended up in the gullies. What happened next?
Letho left her in a gully, wounded. He probably thought that she'd diversify the local trolls' diet. He himself went to see the elves and massacred the unit with his comrades. They're somewhere on the other side of the fog.
What about Triss?
She escaped from the troll. Everything suggests she's somewhere in the area.
I can assure you she is not in Vergen.
She has to be here. Locate her.
I'll try, but it will take some time. Have you learned anything else?
Sheala dio la orden de que mataran a Letho y a Triss.
Sheala ordered Letho and Triss killed.
I can't believe that.
Believe it. I ran into some mercenaries she enlisted to kill Letho and anyone found with him.
She must have meant the other Kingslayers. Are you sure she knew Triss was with him?
Are you so sure of Sheala? There was something going on between her and Triss. I sensed a lot of tension.
A misunderstanding.
Maybe. Let's find Triss and clear everything up.
I need some time. What's going on out there?
Let's see.
Fuera.
What's going on?
The peasants want to take pitchforks to King Demoven's son.
Why?
The Dragonslayer's servant is spreading rumors that Stennis poisoned Saskia. The commoners are in an uproar. They want to dispense justice.
Where's the prince?
Barricaded himself in his room, guarded by nobles. For the moment, the peasants are still respectful, but they are feverish. A fight is inevitable. Help us out. The situation is dire. I'm going to inform the other nobles.
¿Está liando? No me gustan los tiros con Stennis.
I'm not sure if Prince Stennis is guilty, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was involved.
Power. The object of dark desire.
Let's go, before this dark desire becomes too strong and someone gets hurt.
Va.
You go. I'll locate Triss. And should anything happen to Prince Stennis, remember, we need his blood.
I remember.
Pues si le dan un puñetazo y eso no pasa nada, la verdad. Nivel ganado, guay. Vamos a ver. 2 puntos. Ole, Manole. Guay. Agudiza en combate. Desbloquea los golpes de remate a grupos. Se activa después de que la barra de adrenalina se cargue. Repite la generación de adrenalina a través de golpes de espada. Vale. Generación de adrenalina a través de golpes de espada. ¿Algo más? Ole. ¿O esto? Presión de daño más 15%. Creo que lo voy a pillar. A ver qué es. Play de efecto crítico. Play de baja instantánea. Play de baja instantánea más 2. Está guay. Vamos a ver. Distancia cubierta de esquivar en combate más 100%. Eso estaría muy bien, la verdad. Voy a pillarlo porque me hace falta. Cantidad de energía necesaria para bloquear golpes enemigos menos 25%. Yo tendré que mejorar señales. Es algo que no estoy haciendo. Claro, primero quiero ocuparme de todo el tema combate y luego ya sí ocuparme de las señales. Vamos a guardar por si acaso. ¿Qué pasa aquí? ¿Qué está pasando aquí, chicos? ¿Qué está pasando aquí?
Geralt! It's good to see you.
The commoners claim Stennis is involved in Saskia's poisoning. They're looking to slaughter him.
Nadie mantiene el orden.
To keep things peaceful.
Scalen Burden and his dwarves are trying to contain the mob, but they're badly outnumbered.
The plebs will yell a lot, beat someone up, and go home. As peasants do.
That would be foolish. They're not serfs anymore. The days of them humbly sowing and reaping are gone.
Looks like things are getting nasty.
Hear me! What do you want? I'm Scalen Burden. I keep order in Vergen. Or doing a nice job then? Where was you when they poisoned Saskia?
Give us the prince! Get the flails!
Stop!
Yorveth.
Squirrels! Everyone who wants to leave this yard in one piece, keep your hands off your weapons. I don't care if you're a serf or a lord. I'll kill you all if need be.
What's going on?
The servant carrying wine during the feast said that Prince Stennis and Olcan poisoned Saskia. We want justice!
You want revenge. It's not the same thing.
We don't care. Saskia's fallen as if dead, while the poisoning prince and noble lords rush to herd us onto the field and sell us to Henselt. We won't let them!
You lie, Colton. Nobody's being sold out. The poisoner must be caught and tried by law.
Your law? What then? He'll pay a fine and get spanked on his ass? We'll spank him all right, with an axe to the throat!
Where's this servant?
Safe. The Scoia'tael keep an eye on him.
Why is the prince hiding in his house if he's innocent?
Enough! I'll shoot the first to reach for a weapon. Then heads will start falling.
There's more of us. You can't kill every...
Then you'll be first. Now back off!
Está cabreado, tío.
We
Cuidado.
need to act quickly.
¿Cuál es el plan?
What's your plan?
I'll frighten them a little. Bleed them if need be. I'll buy you some time, but be swift. I can't hold them off for long. Question the peasants and the nobles, and talk to the dwarves. Maybe you can get to meet Stennis.
Even if he's guilty, I'm sure he's prepared a suitable story.
You'll know how to sort the sheep from the goats. Also, find the servant who started talking so suddenly. You won't have time to talk to everyone, though, that's for sure.
Good. Bloody bastard poisoned the Virgin.
Say, Witcher, come over here.
Save your threats for your hog-smelling woman.
What do you want?
We of noble birth always had to protect the plebs from their own stupidity. If not for us, the world...
I don't have time to listen to songs praising the nobility. Know anything about the attempt on Saskia's life?
No, I don't. But whatever the truth, the mob cannot lynch one of royal blood.
So truth means nothing to you?
I didn't say I don't care about truth. Just...
An order that...
If the prince turns out to be involved in this attempted murder,
Yo tengo
he should
tiempo, coño.
face a tribunal. The rabble doesn't understand the principles ruling the world.
Or they do understand them and simply don't like them.
Saskia is a wise woman, but there's one thing she doesn't take into consideration. This war will be over one day. Who will sow the crops and milk the cows then? Saskia called the serfs to arms. Do you think they'll want to plough fields again?
You may be right, but it's certainly not my business who'll plow your fields. Farewell.
This is nonsense. What would the prince gain with the Virgin?
Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel?
Those witchers be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
He better search for a lad who served the Virgin instead of pissing around.
Yeah, once done with the prince, he'd better take care of the magnets. Throwing their weight about too much they are.
¿Conoces a ese siervo?
You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but loves the Virgin like a sister and mother put together.
He'd gladly get quartered for her.
Where's this Willie of yours?
Hiding in his shack, afraid of them lords. Squirrels guard him.
The prince stood right next to Saskia during the council. Did he have access to the wine cellar beforehand?
How should I know?
Why flap your mouth then?
The prince is a wealthy lord. Bribing a skivvy to poison the wine is nothing to him.
Just because someone can afford gold teeth doesn't mean they'll pull their healthy ones.
Adiós.
Farewell.
Give us
Tell me
this
what he
whole
lost
power!
with life.
The prince has a coming.
Vale, tengo que hablar
Who will
con campesino
the witcher
sospechoso. Aquí está.
They say someone cast a spell.
There goes the piece, believe me anyway.
Está Willy.
I've been looking for you.
I don't know you.
You caused quite a commotion. Afraid of something?
No, nothing.
You're lying.
I didn't do nothing. Didn't say nothing, don't know nothing, and didn't see nothing.
¿Sabes algo del asesinato?
Tell me everything you know about the attempt on Saskia's life.
I heard the priest talking with the prince. This goody-goody said the Virgin is really a beast under her fair skin.
What priest?
Olcan, the one killed.
So there's no way I can check if you're lying.
I swear on my mother's grave I speak the truth.
What else did you hear? Tell me.
I was putting Saskia's room in order when the priest came to the prince's chamber next door. It wasn't speaking loud, but I heard the priest say, "Just clear the servants from the kitchen." Nothing more. Reverend Olcan, only he could tell you how it was, beginning to end.
The dead aren't very talkative.
What about what they leave behind? There may be clues or some such.
Maybe.
What should I do?
Who needs this?
Va a buscar al sacerdote y quería ayudar.
Lady Saskia will
Sorcerers are a plague of the worst kind.
Es que a lo mejor el sacerdote este lo había planeado. No estoy yendo ahora mismo. Creo que va a dar una vuelta. Está por aquí. Es la casa del sacerdote este. ¿Está fuera? Está fuera. ¡Una hostia! Siempre hay esos sitios que están... Joder, es que esto es algo... ¡Hostia, el clavo!
They lie in wait for their lord and prince. Humans are an odd lot. I certainly hope Scalen can clean up this mess. What can I do for you, Witcher?
¿Dónde vivía el reverendo Olcan?
I need to know where Reverend Olcan used to live.
Simple. Let me show you on the map. It's about right here.
Vale, Saskia necesita medicina.
Saskia needs help, Cecil. Philippa can produce an antidote, but she needs a magic artifact to do that.
Would you like a fern and a dancing worm to go with it? Listen, I don't know about magic, but there is a place, as long as I can remember, has been of interest to sorcerers. They say it's a very strong intersection. Look for magic there.
Where exactly is there?
Seek out the ruins in the forest beyond Bergen. There's a place of power there. You can't miss it.
Vale.
Why so glum? Saskia's a tough girl. She'll bounce back. Keep your head up.
Thanks, Cecil.
No, Witcher. I thank you. Save that lass, and you'll save my town.
¿Conoces a alguien que participara en la batalla de hace 3
Cecil,
años?
do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook Henselt, called king by some, Thought that Edirnians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Edirn?
According to Henselt, Upper Edirn is the ancient legacy of the Kaedweni crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kaedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago, the elves reigned here. And 1,000,000 years ago, these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighboring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Henselt wanted to conquer Upper Edirn. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want...
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Edirnians, Kaedweni, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen. A beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Van de Grift attacked in the afternoon, he sent the Dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard. But we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Edirn at all. We decimated the Dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kaedwenis gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armor. Then, Van de Grift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Van de Grift killed Seltkirk. A terrible death that sent the Edirnian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kaedweni sorceress who wanted revenge on Van de Grift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
¿Viste el duelo entre ellos dos? ¿Qué pasó con el estandarte?
You captured the Dun banner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitors sent them to their deaths, refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunner, there were 7 Edirnians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard.
Vale, ¿viste el duelo?
Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Van de Grift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in Ardcarreg. Seltkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Seltkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Van de Grift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Seltkirk with that new sword.
Van de Grift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake or Seltkirk in the whole of Edirn. His brother babbles something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhart claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Van de Grift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.
Ya, yo también lo espero. Odio que se cambie siempre la misión. Me gustaría que se Ay, se mantiene en el que estoy. Se mantenga en el que estoy la misión. No. Recursos recurrentes. Si no se os enterado de la primera vez que mencioné, había recibido el encargo de matar al lezo. Te va a gustar. Cara de póker. No. Todo el lugar que mencionó Cecil. No, Sangre Real. Recuperé información sobre la casa de sacerdote con unidad de Cecil Burdo. No tiene mucho tiempo. Mapa. Vale, está aquí al lado. Vamos, chaval. ¡Corre! Yo no tengo mucho tiempo, así que... Vamos, espera que no pueda correr más rápido, tío. No, espera. No, eso no es la casa. ¿Dónde está la casa? Tío.
I can tell you what he lost with her life.
Serfs and lords will never
Go
be
get
on
the
the
lads.
same
He
side.
won't stand for this.
Humans only care about their asses,
my hand!
Otherwise, it's
I'll cut the block off the next man who dares try
If
his
they
luck.
start at each other's throats, we'll have to face the entire amount of Kaedwen alone.
Pero no digo esta sacerdote este. No entiendo. Recuperé información sobre la casa de comidas. A ver. Ya fue a ver cómo se supuestamente sobornado y le conocí para que hablar. El siervo, además de tener lengua suelta, era un poco cotilla. Y de otra conversación entre Stannis y el sacerdote Volcan. Hasta recordando que... vale. Resiste Stannis de Volcan. Vale, aquí está. Vale, perdón, me había equivocado de misión. Mapa. Vale, está por ahí en medio. Vamos allá. Tenemos que darle caña porque no queda mucho. Está poniendo nervioso. Está poniendo todo muy nervioso, así que hay que darle caña. Son sustancias.
Hello, Chief.
¿Cómo? ¿Y aquí ahora qué? Me da otro lugar, me da más allá. ¿Vale? ¿Será esto? Clave humano.
Strange aura. Nothing interesting.
De Volcan. Vamos a ver si hay alguna cosilla más. Los Orens, vale. Vale, guay. Sus opiniones no tienen mucho tiempo. Espera, diario. No, diario, no, perdón. Inventario. Ay, como digo que salga directamente de esto. Me gustaría que fuese. Si le doy a diario y le doy a ver que volviese a este menú. No que salga. Putas, otra vez me saco las botas. Siempre igual. Desde Orcan. No entiendo una mierda de lo que es eso, pero vale. Va diario. Ah, pues una rosa, buscar bandolera. Sigue las opiniones. Sabe real, magia. Vamos. Buscar las opiniones. Mira que para conseguir más opiniones tendremos que ir a... ¿Dónde están todos? O sea, todos a punto de pegarse a hostias. Vamos, chicos. Vamos. Vale, vamos a ver. Bueno, ya serían un poco... Oh, chaval, esta ciudad es un lío. No, los siguientes, pero ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde me indica que hay que ir? Ah, vale, sí voy bien. Por aquí y luego por aquí. Vale.
One freak bigger than the next.
Vale, guay. Aquí están todos discutiendo.
Who will the Witcher sign?
I can tell you what you want.
It's good to see someone's taking
I'll
care
not
of
waste my arrows on greetings, Gwynblade.
¿Una novedad? Vale.
Anything changed?
Not really. The peasants keep hollering. Noblemen stubbornly guard their chieftain.
Guilt must be proven. Otherwise, it's vigilante justice.
Can we have a word?
Why not? I'm Ogden, a founder. I cast mugs, plates, chalices. You need any, Witcher?
No thanks. The tableware in the council chamber is your handiwork?
It is. Made it back in Mayor Farragut's time. Since then, each and every goblet has hit the floor dozens of times, and what happened? Nothing. Because they're steel. My goblets are indestructible, impervious to both the fury of sovereigns and servants who are all thumbs.
Saskia's chalice was new.
Aye, it was. Back in Mayor Farragut's day, I venture Saskia was no more than an itch in her da's breeches.
¿Algo peculiar en la copa?
Was the order for a normal goblet?
Not a chance. It was supposed to be a gift. I ornamented it richly, even on the inside. Not terribly practical, that, as it's hard to get clean. Some scum is bound to remain. But I wanted it looking downright regal, worthy of our Saskia.
The other chalices were not ornamented on the inside?
Course not.
Vale. ¿Quién encargó la copa?
Who ordered the goblet from you?
That goblet was a gift. A way for the folk of Vergen to pay tribute to Saskia. I got the honor of casting and presenting it to our lovely leader. The lass liked it so much, she's not used any other vessel since she received it.
¿Por qué no me va a salir en italiano? Me va a salir los subtítulos en italiano.
Any chance there could have been two identical goblets?
Why, there's no craftsman that comes close to me in Vergen.
Could someone have tried to copy your handiwork?
Ha! I know of one who's been trying for years, but he's a fumbler, a screw-up. He's not produced one decent vessel. They all look like the work of a drunken elf. Thorax, his name.
Vale, cuídate.
See you at the inn. We'll grab a beer.
Serfs and lords will never be on this.
Enough of this charade!
No, no
Try
tiempo.
to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why! The mongrel covets the crown!
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her, he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the virgin sips it.
No need to poison the wine. Smearing the poison inside the chalice would be enough.
I never heard of anyone poisoning a chalice.
You haven't heard much, then. One of the Emperor's forebears died after sampling some lamb. He was always scared of poison and ate supper with his cook. The murderer spread poison on one side of a knife. Then he cut the meat so that only a small piece was poisoned.
The Witcher's right. Give us Stennis.
Saskia's got her own chalice.
It was commissioned from one of the dwarves. The order came with a very detailed drawing.
Even so, how did it come into Saskia's hand?
Buena pregunta. No eres muy convincente.
It's not clear how the prince poisoned the wine, but that doesn't mean he didn't do it.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanting to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his savior.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis' room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene Damed the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Bergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they wanted, nobody but Stennis could do it.
You're wrong, Colton. Reverend Olkin wanted to get rid of Saskia. He thought she was a monster at heart.
Olkin was on Stennis' leash like a dog.
How dare you, lout! Do you imagine if someone sits next to a married lady, he's surely fucking her?
The priest tried to convince Prince Stennis to join the conspiracy.
Is Stennis some dimwit foundling that he dances to a lousy priest's tune? Olkan got what he deserved when Henselt cleaved his head. Now it's Stennis' time.
There is no proof the prince agreed.
The priest asked him for admittance to the kitchen.
So he didn't poison the Virgin himself, but allowed her to be poisoned.
Conjeturas, no pruebas.
Those are just words. Too much guesswork and not enough evidence. You can't convict anyone based on that.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world. And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Eden? Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Eden, can judge me. Can it? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you? I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign!
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
El principio es culpable. Hincharlo no sería una buena idea.
The prince has a right to a fair trial, no matter if he's guilty or not. We can't deny him that. What will the peasants do if we hand them the prince? Will they hear him out? No. They'll hang him from the nearest tree or tear him limb from limb. What will happen if we allow a lynching? What if people see that might makes right? Who'll guarantee they won't desire to avenge their wrongs, real and imagined? Who'll protect people whose only fault is noble birth from the exasperated mob? And where will it lead?
Bien dicho, tío.
The peasants are furious.
They didn't dare mount a frontal attack.
But they haven't forgotten about Stennis, and won't. It'll be that way until Saskia regains consciousness.
Más vale que
She
consiga.
won't keep order by strength alone.
Unless it's a great strength.
We need an authority figure. And royal blood.
5 courts go to waste in the Dwarven dungeon at the moment.
There's also Henselt.
Going into that haunted mist is madness. Stealing Stennis away would be easier.
No. Anything involving Stennis will cause a riot.
I've had enough of the peasants and nobles barking. Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt's army with this rabble, which is why I'm going to get reinforcements.
Where?
4 Scoia'tael units await in hiding to the east. Time to summon them.
You'll make it in time?
I must.
Vale, guay. Consigo un poco de sangre de Henselt. Ahora con Filipa. Vale, pues... Vamos a ver. Para hablar con el artífice de la copa, un regalo del pueblo de Bergen a Saskia, Geralt decidió hacer una visita a Zorax, ya que la copa original había sido sustituida por otra con el veneno. Zorax era el único artesano en Bergen capaz de hacer una réplica de la original, es decir, de fabricar la copa empleada para eliminar al asesino de dragones. Vamos a hacer eso por ahora. Ah, las paredes oyen. Hay muchas cosas que hacer, muchas. Ya nos seguimos en el segundo acto. Luego, gente, lo vamos a ir dejando ahí. Espero que os haya molado este episodio. Ya sabéis que tenéis que hacer, darle a like, follow, suscribiros al canal si no estáis suscritos para más episodios o plays. Y nada, continuaremos mañana en el siguiente episodio. Muy buenas y hasta la próxima. Adiós.